Hello everyone, welcome to Math 055 Online. My name is Troy Minogue. I'll be the instructor for the course. My goal for today is to kind of talk through what the expectations are, what we can expect of me, what I can expect of you, go through the syllabus, kind of the basic structure of the course. So that's kind of the plan. So let's get rolling. On the screen there, this is the syllabus. I'm not going to read everything, obviously. The whole first part is just kind of the basic university required stuff. This is fairly important. Instructor response time, what you can expect of when I will get back to you. If you contact me throughout the week, I will get back to you that day usually. Sometimes it'll be the next day, but for sure within 24 hours. For sure by the next day I'll get back to you. Over the weekend, if you contact me late Friday afternoon to Sunday, it just kind of depends on if I have nothing going and I happen to be around my email. I don't have my email hooked to my phone and don't want that. So if I'm out and about, I won't be replying until Monday early morning-ish. I'll get back to you if you get a hold of me over the weekend. There's times I'm hanging out at the house, not doing a whole lot, and I'll get my email, but otherwise expect it by Monday morning. All right, the important stuff. The test is broken. Start over. The class is broken into 2 units. Unit 1 is chapters 1 through 4. Unit 2 is chapters 5 through 7. Every chapter has a homework assignment. There's about 30, we'll go through that here in a second, but there's about 30 questions. Sometimes there's 25 or so, and that's for the entire week. It's not like per day, it's for the entire week. It's the entire chapter. Obviously, I won't say obviously, that is my bare minimum recommendation. A lot of times you'll have, in a typical class, you'll have 10 to 15 questions per section, and there's about 6 sections per chapter. So you're looking at probably 100 questions is a typical math assignment, 3 through 30 odd, something like that. I don't like busy work. I know you don't like busy work. So what I have given you is kind of the bare minimum of what you need to make sure you see before you get to a test from every chapter. There are a good chunk of practice problems. However, if you struggle through them, if you get help on most of them, you're going to probably want to go and do a few more practice problems. For that, I do have a review that is covering each chapter, and so those are more practice problems. That may be enough. And if you just find you need more, then there's always a textbook. Okay, the textbook is optional, and it's for that purpose right there. You need a little more instruction. You need a few more practice problems from every topic. So that's what that is kind of for. Also, if you need more practice problems, you can always contact me, and I can write you up some problems pretty quickly and get them out to you so you can practice with answers so you can make sure you're doing them right. As you do the homework, that's the goal. Make sure you can do the problems. On your test, you get 1 page of notes, so you have a little bit of help, but for the most part, you're on your own. So the goal of doing the homework is to gain some confidence so that when you get to the test, you know what you're doing. If you simply do all the homework problems with help and then jump into the test and try to take the test, it may or may not go well, but if you can do the entire homework problems by yourself, the test should go well. Okay, down at the bottom of the syllabus is our schedule. So notice 1 chapter per week. We have 4 chapters in the first semester or first unit and 3 chapters. Oh, my formatting's off. 3 chapters in the second. Okay. Due dates, I kind of organize everything in a due date down here. We'll talk about the introduction quiz here in a second. So that is the basic idea of a homework. Let's jump over to Blackboard. So underneath, on the left-hand side, underneath the assignment tab, I think yours looks similar to this. This is my setup, but yours should be very, very similar. You may not have all these links, but Under the assignment tab, you have 2 units, just like I talked about. Unit 1 assignment, you have chapter 1 homework, chapter 2 homework, and so on. These are typed out, so you do not need a textbook. I'm going to go ahead and click on one. My opinion, I would print this and work it out. You don't have to. You can work them right off the screen, do it on scratch paper, and so on. I would not look at those like multiple choice. I would ignore all my multiple choice options and try to take the homework like a free response, kind of like a test would be. There are a few multiple choice questions on the test, so getting used to doing a multiple choice question is good, but most of the questions are free response. The reason I do multiple choice is, and I know it sounds like I'm being lazy, but that's not the point, is so that you get quick feedback. So when you type in the answer into Blackboard, you get immediate feedback. So just to throw this out here, your homework is due Sunday afternoon. Well, sorry, Sunday night. If you're working on them on Sunday afternoon and you submit your homework, you will get an immediate grade. So then you can go back in and fix your work and turn it back in. Every homework can be submitted twice. So if you were to wait for me to grade it and you submit it Sunday afternoon, I'm not going to see it most likely until Monday afternoon. So by doing it by multiple choice, it does put a little more responsibility on you to check your work, etc., but you are able to. So it makes it a real quick feedback, and you can do your 2 submissions if you find yourself running late for the week and you end up turning it on Sunday or working on it and turning it on Sunday afternoon. You will have an opportunity then to hurry up and get it turned back in a second time. More on that. So your homework, you do have 2 attempts. If I were taking the course in a perfect world and everything is going as planned, I'm on schedule, I would really obviously start my homework like on Monday, start looking through the concepts and so on. I would try to have my first submission done by Wednesday, Thursday, so then I can go back and look at what I got wrong. I can go back in and make corrections, and I can use it as a true learning experience so that I'm ready for the test. That's perfect world. Obviously, things happen, especially summertime in Alaska. And so you may be starting on a Thursday afternoon and so on, and I get it. Excuse me. That is why we have the online grade, so that you can submit it at any time. So the goal is to make sure you work through it and not rush through it. Learn the material as you go through. Okay, so what happens if I'm doing my homework and I don't know how to do a topic? So go back over here to course content. Under course content, I have created a recording for every single topic. These are not book created recordings. These are my recordings. Doing what I'm doing right here. I talk through every single section. Okay, so section 1.1, 1.2 to 4, and so on. Sometimes there's multiple sections because they're not super long, and sometimes it's just one, depending upon the section. If you click on it, you will get me talking through the topic just like this. Now, these are not named like, I don't want to do that. We'll go back. Whoops, sorry, wrong button. Sorry about that, clicked on the wrong button. So these are not named by topic. So if I'm cruising through the homework, it's pretty much in order, 1.1, 1.2, and so on. So if I'm looking for a topic in the midway through the homework assignments, I'm probably in here. Towards the end, I'm probably in here, and so on. For some of you, this is a refresher course, and you may not need my videos. But for some of you, you're going to find a topic, especially when we get into factoring, and some of those are broken down by topic, not by section. And so you can easily go in there and you can look at the topic that applies to whatever you're working on. So the homework is done every week. You have resources. Man, it's Sunday afternoon, and apparently I am not thinking straight because I'm clicking on all the wrong buttons. So we have every chapter, every section has recordings, and you can cruise through whatever recordings you need to. We're going to talk about this one here in a second. We have unit recordings also. Okay, I've done all my homework. I've cruised through here, and I've answered all my questions, circled the right answer. So then the question has to be, well, how do I submit this thing? Go to tests. Right in the middle here, we have this test folder, and you'll see Chapter 1 homework quiz. I call it a quiz simply because that's what the Blackboard calls it, but it's just submitting my homework. And I'm going to click begin. You're allowed 2 attempts, and so I'm just treating this submission like a bubble sheet. I have all my answers marked on my homework assignment. I'm going to click on, I think 1 was A, I think 2 was C, and so on. And I just go through here and I use it like a bubble sheet. And I answer, or I select all the answers that I answered. Notice when I'm cruising through here, it automatically saves them as I go. I don't know if I'll ever use just this save answer. When I'm all done, I'll click save and submit. Okay. And for those of you who've done Blackboard quizzes, you know that it saves it automatically. So if the phone rings and I have to run away immediately for an emergency, give it 10 seconds, and this is going to switch to saved, and I'm done. And if I clicked out here right now, I could come back and pick up right where I left off. Okay, and it really doesn't matter most likely because you've probably already done them on a scratch sheet of paper somewhere or on the actual printed homework assignment. So you have your answers to go back and look. On that note, I would definitely do that. Have your answers so you know what you selected the first time around, because the second time around then you're going to want to make sure you know all the right answers and you can mark all the wrong answers. Once you click save and submit, it will tell you which ones you got wrong. It won't tell you the right answer, obviously. It'll tell you which ones you got wrong, so you can go back in there and fix it. How does it tell you what you got wrong? It tells you how many points you got. So if you got 0 points, you got it wrong. If you got 1 point, you got it right. Okay, homework is due at midnight on the due date. So where'd my syllabus go? So in your syllabus, homework on the due date is due by midnight, Chapter 1 of May 26th. So Sunday night at midnight, your homework is due. As you can see from a date, I'm making this the day before our class starts. So 1 week from today, your homework is due. Okay. I'm cruising through. I've done Chapter 1. I repeat Chapter 2, Chapter 3, etc. Notice there is a overlap. The homework window, for those of you who get yourself ahead, starts when Chapter 4 starts. Some of you are shift workers. You work as a nurse. You work as a EMT, firefighter. You work on the slope platforms, etc. We all know the different jobs out there. And some of you may need to work ahead so that you can take your test before your shift starts or at a convenient time during your shift. Okay, so that's one reason I make it a long 3-week testing window, is to accommodate all the different schedules and life in Alaska. So as you're cruising through the homework, if you can get yourself ahead, you can take the unit test early, or you can start reviewing early. Okay, reviewing. Let me get out of here. And I'm going to jump to course content again. So, biggest question, when you get to the end of the unit, you're wondering what to study. So I have a Unit 1 review. Click on that. And I have all these practice problems, and it's just cruising through all the different questions that you could see. Your test is not 74 questions long. My unit reviews are quite a bit longer than the test on purpose, so that you have plenty of practice. If I were taking the test, if I were taking this class, I would sit down with my 1 page of notes. On the test, you get a page of notes, both front and back. I would sit down with my page of notes, and I would take the unit review like a test. If I do that using my note page, I know what I need to work on and what I need to put on my notes, and I know I have a better idea if I'm ready for the test. Once you're done with your review, grab my review key, and go through and check all your work. I do all the problems so you can see all the answers. I show my work so you can kind of follow along with what I did. However, if you're cruising through this, you're like, wait a minute, I see a bunch of work here. I have no idea what you're doing. Where did this 6 minus 4y come from? You have no idea what I did. Go back to our folder, Unit 1 review recording. I talk through every single question. So as I'm doing it, I talk through the answers, and now you can hear my thought process and how to do the problems. I highly encourage you to give yourself at least 3, 4, 5 days before you're planning on taking the test to spend some time reviewing. Okay, on that note, going back to our course guidelines or our course schedule, Unit 1 test due by June 30th, opens June 10th. You have a 3-week testing window. You have 2 options to take the test for everybody. There's a new online testing software. No longer have RPNow. University went away from RPNow starting this summer term, and we're using a program called HonorLock. In this syllabus, I talk about that, and I say I would highly encourage you not to use it because it's brand new. Since I wrote my syllabus, we've had some online training sessions, and it's not too bad. It's very similar to RPNow. You have basically an extension. You have to use Chrome. So whether you're on a Mac or an Android or a Mac or a Chromebook or a PC or whatever, it works. The only thing is you have to have Chrome. I'm not wild about that, and we won't get into politics and Google and all that kind of stuff. But so that's my only negative, is it has to be done through Chrome. It's kind of a Google platform. But other than that, it's a pretty good program. You're recorded just like normal. You have to have a camera. You have to have a microphone just like normal. The only difference is HonorLock allows you to take it in a public space, whereas RPNow did not. You still have the same test security of you have to scan the room and so on. But it does allow for that option. So like for those on the platform, you could take it in a dining hall, or you could take it somewhere. You don't have to find yourself a spot where maybe the Wi-Fi is not so good. You could find a spot where there's good Wi-Fi, and you can take it in a room that has a little bit of noise. I would try not to because of your ability to think, but it does give you that option. So anyways, I will have more on HonorLock. I will walk you through the steps in a different video where it's more detailed, just for the purpose of how do we use this new program. But it's not too bad. So if you are not able to get to a testing center, so the first option is you can go take it at a testing center. If you like paper and pencil, that's what this is. It's printed, you sit down, you take your pencil paper test, hand it in, and move on. Okay, I think most of us know about that. You can take it at any branch, KPC, UAA, Matsu, Homer, Kodiak, it doesn't matter. Any branch of the UAA system, you can take it there. And almost everyone has summer hours, but they are limited. So if you're going to take it at a testing center, you like the paper pencil and you want to take it at a testing center, double check the testing hours. You have to be a little more organized, thinking ahead, and have some time during the week when you can take it. I don't think there's anyone open on the weekend, but I can't say that for sure. Okay, more to come on testing options. Just know that it's out there June 10th, which is going to come fast. Okay, general testing rules, we talked about it a little bit. You're allowed a page of notes front back. You're allowed a basic, no, you can use any kind of scientific calculator, just cannot be computer or phone based. Your phones must be off. You have a 150-minute or a 2.5-hour time limit. It takes most people about an hour and 20 on the first test and about an hour and 40 or so on the second test. Some people get done in 45 minutes. You know those people who are super fast. And some people take 2 hours. So you just have to know what your testing speed is like. and give yourself plenty of time. There's nothing worse than being rushed on a test because of time. I don't know of, I won't say anybody. It's a rare person who needs to go 2.5 hours all the way to the end. I've seen 2 hours, seen 2:10, but 2:30, there's very few people over my 15 years of doing this that does the full entire 2.5 hour time limit. So I think that's good. Now, if you have accommodations that allows you to have double time and things like that, that's between you and whoever writes your accommodations. But and just let me know, and I can make an adjustment on the either instructions to the testing centers, or I can make an adjustment on the program to allow you that time extension. But for most people, 2.5 hours is fine. But it does take some time. It takes for sure between 1 and 2 hours. Okay, I'm gonna let you read that. I don't need a whole lot more than that to talk about. Here's your grade, 90, 80, 70, 60, just like normal. You can see your points that you need. More stuff. Okay, that is pretty much that. And again, we're going to talk more about how to access this folder here and how to use HonorLock and that kind of stuff. Your testing folder, get comfortable with that. You have all these tests. That's where your quizzes are submitted, or your homework is submitted through a quiz. We do have an extra credit opportunity for every unit. Unit 1 has an extra credit opportunity, and Unit 2 has 2 extra credit opportunities. We'll talk about that more as we get there. Those extra credit points are pretty valuable for some people. So don't, just remember those. You have some extra credit opportunities. It's about a letter grade on a test worth of extra credit. So it's a legit amount of extra credit. I don't want it to be just stupid extra credit. The whole point is just, I know we all struggle on tests sometimes and trying to know there's no retakes. So just trying to accommodate people maybe having a bad day or whatever. That's what the extra credit's for. Okay, course content folder. It's super important. Make sure you pay attention to what's in the course content folder. You have your Unit 1 recordings. You have your review worksheets. Fractions are always hard for people, so I put a little fraction review in there. And then these are more practice worksheets. They're okay. I just want, people sometimes ask for more practice problems. That's what this is. These are right from the textbook. I just grabbed some things off the textbook, resources that they had, and I put them in here for you. I don't know very many people who do them, but again, some of you like lots of practice problems, and that's what this is all about. And I think that's about it. Here's your assignments tab, and that's where you're headed first. Click on the Chapter 1 homework and get rolling. Okay, back to tests. Now that you kind of know what's expected in the course, you can take the introduction quiz. So click on the introduction quiz. The whole point is, did I convey the information correctly and do you understand? So question 1, lectures are recorded for each section so I can listen to them as needed. That is true. And so on. I didn't talk about this one, but it's in the syllabus. The 3-week window is I won't say it's like a in stone deadline, but it's pretty solid. I mean, it's pretty non-negotiable. However, things happen. We all know that. So that's what this question's about. I mean, there's going to be times when bad things happen, and I'm not unreasonable. So that's what this is talking about, is if you have something that bad happens and you cannot make your testing appointment, you've tried, you made an appointment, it's just things happen. Yeah, just contact me as soon as possible and we will reschedule. Not dismiss the test, we will reschedule. I need to change this because this is no longer RP now. This is HonorLock, so I'll fix that before tomorrow. And so on. Okay, when you get to the end and I'm all done, I'm going to click Save and Submit. And you can take this as many times as you need to get a 100%. Get your full 20 points. Some people stop and, oh, I got 18 out of 20. I don't care. I'm good. Yeah, those 2 points in a month and a half from now, those 2 points may be a big deal to you. So get your 2 points and go back and retake it. Once you submit it, I give you all the right answers. Once you click submit, it tells you what you got wrong and it tells you what it should have been. So all you have to do is go right back in and fix the mistakes to the one that's right. The whole point of the introduction quiz is for you and I to know that, yep, they did the research, they read the syllabus, they know what they're doing. Okay. Get your full 100%, your 20 points on the introduction quiz, click submit, and move on. Okay. I think that pretty much covers everything. So I am going to sign off for now. And if you have questions after you read the syllabus, after you watch the Start Here recording, then please contact me right away and I will clear them up. Nothing worse than being lost as to what is expected of you. All right. Have a great day. We'll talk to you another time.